Okay, this is just to show you where we're starting off today. This is the Mocanaqua Loop Trail. There's different trails that go up the mountainside here. And if you come here, you can get a pamphlet. It's the Pinchot State Forest. And it shows you the approximate areas. And this is the parking area here. And the trail goes over the railroad tracks, through the sewer authority, and goes up the mountainside. Alright, I'm currently coming to you from the town of Mocanaqua. I'm here with Mike today, and the reason we're here is on Google Maps we found what looks to be some old remains of maybe a mining company or a colliery of sorts. And don't mind me being out of breath, we're kind of climbing a mountainside here again. Don't know what we're going to find, but we look like we're headed in the right direction, so once we spot something, I will meet back up with you and I'll show you what we find. Alright, we're currently most of the way up on what's called the Mocanaqua Trail. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a walking trail that goes through the sewer authority and comes up the mountain here, and came upon our first signs of a former business or mine or something here. It's kind of hard to see, but we got two buildings here, or foundations of buildings, and lots of interesting stuff on the left hand side here. This looks like a foundation, and looks like up there in the rocks there's maybe more structures or possibly a cave or something. I see a big black hole up there. Really don't know anything about this except that it's definitely old. It's been here a long time. So I ask if you guys do know anything about this. There's even more up there in the mountain there. If you guys do know anything about what's here, I'd love to know. Otherwise, we're just gonna walk around, check this out, see what's left behind, and we'll go from there. Okay, here we have a slab foundation, which may have been maybe a garage or building. It's too far gone to tell. But we do have this cool structure here. The whole frame of it's still existing. And right in front of it we got a big chunk of coal. So my hunch is it is something coal mine related. I'm gonna take a walk in there and check it out. Okay, I just took a walk in there as you saw, so now I'll take you with me and show you what's inside. This looks like it was a pretty neat structure or building at one point. See, it does have wood in between the frames there of the windows. And going along the border is a thick cable. You can't really see it, but and it connects to another room that has what looks to be a basement, or maybe it was a well. As far as things like this go, I'm not really knowledgeable on how really old buildings used to be like this out in the woods. I don't know their uses, but they're really cool to look at though. I don't know, is that it looks like a golf caddy in there. I think that's what it is. I was looking through where we just came from. Here we have a jacket. It looks like children's boots. Okay, so there's one more look from the outside of that building. And now we're going to check out what looks to be another foundation possibly, or maybe an area with ore chutes for processing coal. It's all just speculation. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find much about this when we found the area on the maps. Just that it has been documented as old buildings and structures in Mocanaqua. This looks like it was a large building. You can see there's a steep, very rocky mountainside there, and it looks like there may be a cave or something over there. So we'll check that out too. Alright, so that's what I just showed you, and up on the mountain here, you can see we got another building up there. So this looks like a pretty extensive operation so far. It's similar to the Glenburn mine colliery that I visited not too long ago. That was a large mine operation in Shamokin, Pennsylvania, and that was literally built on a mountainside, complete with a tipple on top with a hoist, ore carts, and the mine shaft that we went into. If you do want to check out that video, you can watch it right now. It'll be up in this corner of the screen. But definitely resembles that. Alright, we walked a little farther down the trail past those foundations that we showed you, and we came upon what I thought was a mine opening. May or not be, I should say may or may not be, but it's definitely a cave in there. It's definitely not big enough for me to fit in, but it looks like it goes in and bends around the turn, and we got a bunch of these guys flying around here. I don't know what they are. Let's see, like maybe camel crickets. So it's pretty neat. It's definitely cooler air coming out of here. These rocks are cold to the touch. So this may have been at some time an entrance to something, or just a natural cave. Either way, pretty neat. I'll show you what it looks like from farther away when we walk by it. As you can see, this is a very, very large rock. And it looks like at one point it may have went down into a shaft there that's filled in, but right in there is where that cave is, that little crack. But this is a massive boulder. Here's just one final look. That's how it looks from the trail that we just walked along, and you can see the size of it. Pretty big, and it's all rocky mountainside here, so we don't know what else we're going to find. There may be some other structures up there, possibly caves, so we're going to take a farther walk down this trail and see what's down here. If not, we're going to backtrack and head up on top where we saw that building wall and possibly a minor cave that we saw. Alright, we took a little detour off the trail and we heard some water running, and we discovered this little rock side here with water draining right into a PVC pipe. I don't know why that would be there. And then we're clear in the middle of the woods. This reminds me of like a dump site for waste rock because it's kind of flat, leveled out. Those are all new trees there, young trees. And then down here is a waste rock pile. So it may have been an area where they dumped the unwanted material. But as to why that pipe's there, I really don't know. But we're going to continue on and see what else we find. Okay, so we're making our way back from where I showed you that little tiny trickling waterfall. And there's a lot of trails up in this mountain. And the name I actually said incorrectly. It's called the Mocanaqua Loop Trail. And the way it looks on Google Maps, it looks like it basically loops around this whole mountain. So the trail splits off into different areas, different directions, but it kind of maintains the same orientation on the mountain here. So we didn't really discover anything else down this way. We're going to head back to where we first saw those buildings and foundations, and we're going to explore that area a little bit better. So next time you see us, we'll be over in that general vicinity. Alright, we're making our way down the trail back to where we first started with building foundations. We keep hearing something making noise behind us. I wanted to show you this rock here. It actually has drill markings. It's where they would have drilled down with the drill bits and blasted it away with dynamite. So, very large boulder right along the trail here, and probably maybe they blasted this away to make room for the road, for the trail. That's what I'm thinking here. But probably about another 50 yards down is where we're going to find those other buildings, and gotta try and get up on top of that rocky mountainside and see what else is up there. Alright, we're part way up the mountain right now, probably about 100 feet down is the trail, but a lot of these rocks here are covered almost like they're like a shedding, like a, I don't know what this is. It's almost like, reminds me of like camouflage netting. I don't know if that's something that forms off the rocks or how that's made here, but you can see there's like some lighter color stuff here, but this is just like, this comes right off the rock, and it's all over the rocks here. Alright, hopefully if we're correct, around this bend here should be one of the buildings that we saw up on the mountainside here, so we're gonna continue on. It's not easy walking here. A lot of rocks and crevices. But you can see that black strip down there, that's where the trail is, so we're a little ways up here. I just don't know where that location is that we saw. Oh, here's some type of rocky formation here. It's almost like a small cave, but looks like it doesn't really go anywhere. It looks like it'd be a good place for shelter. Is that an opening there? No, that doesn't go anywhere. Alright, we're gonna keep moving forward. Hopefully we find it. Alright, I keep getting distracted on the way to our destination, but these look pretty neat. These are like pockets built into the rocks here. And if you look, you know, straight ahead, it goes in pretty deep. It's like a cavity. That's pretty neat. Let me shed a little light on that. There we go. Yeah, cave crickets are in there. Or camel crickets, however you want to call them. But it's a pretty neat, I guess it's a natural formation. And we got, yeah, a hole down there, it goes down. So a lot of neat features in the mountainside here. And here's the bird's nest. Oh, sorry about that. I think it's a bird's nest. Okay, just up here on the left is where I showed you those pockets inside the rock, those cavities. And just below us here is the building remains that we saw earlier. So I'm trying to make my way down without falling. Okay. I'll give you a better view. That's what I showed you earlier. That foundation down there, which I said may have been possibly for ore chutes or something. And across the trail is that building with that little pit inside of it. This is on a mountainside here on a little ledge, so I don't know what this was used for. I'm guessing something for the operation. Not a very big structure. Looks like it may have been the basement for it. But behind it is all rocks. Looks like there may be a possible cave there or something. It's hard to tell from these angles. But we're going to check this out a little bit more while we're up here and see if we find anything worth sharing with you guys. Okay, here's one opening which I thought was maybe a cave, but it's just a little natural cavity. And as you can see, it's filled with those bugs. Okay, finally found something worth of interest here. We just came from up there along that rocky mountainside where I showed you those rock formations. And we're just about to call it quits, and I saw an indentation here. And lo and behold, we found what I believe is a mine shaft. There are timbers down there. There's a very moist, damp smell, and tons of cold air coming out of here. So I'm gonna see if we get us a closer look. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit. Looks like you have to crawl down there, but let me get closer and we'll check it out. Okay, I'm kind of sitting at the edge of it here. I'm gonna see if I could shimmy my way down, and Mike's gonna wait out here. I'm not gonna go far in. I don't have my oxygen meter with me, but just want to see if it goes anywhere. Maybe just filled in. So bear with me. Okay, first sign that doesn't look too good is we got a timber here with some large boulders teetering on top of it. So that's not a great sign. But there's the vein of coal. And the vein's only maybe 4 or 5 feet tall, and that's about how tall this mine is. So I gotta try and get a little farther without disturbing that. This keeps going too. Okay, so we made it past that, and you can see it's a very low ceiling, lots of timbering, and it just keeps going. So we're going to go a little ways in. I'm hunched over walking. Ceiling's only maybe 4 or 5 feet tall. Okay, we came to a stoppage. You can see it's pooled up with water here. I don't know if it stops here or if that goes down. I want to say it stops, but it may go down to the left. The light's not really showing it, but let me throw a rock, I'll show you. So yeah, the water is probably at least 6 inches deep there, and looks like it's deeper, so it may go down. And off to the right, we have more workings that go pretty far, as far as I can see. And here's the coal vein. Okay, so I'm just gonna go a little bit this way. It's a very low ceiling. Okay, that tunnel continues straight. It looks like it bends to the right. I'm going to go a little further just to confirm that. And then I'm going to turn around. It's not very smart for me to be in here without any safety equipment, but Mike's outside. I'm only maybe 40 feet in. So I'm just seeing if this is worth coming back to. Okay, I'm glad I came. The mine dead ends here. I'm out of breath from being hunched over. It's actually airflow though, which is good. I do feel fresh air. But this is where it stopped. And looks like there's a stoped out area. Let me see if we get a shot of that. Yeah, there's the stoped out area. Look like upper workings there. Yeah, I can't get up there, but looks like it may continue. So that's as far as I'm going today. I'm on my hands and knees right now. It's a very low ceiling. Very, very cool find. And along the right-hand side here, they have what is known as gobbing. That's where they stack up the loose rock to make a natural wall. Okay, now I can stand up. It's getting foggy down here. There's no ore cart tracks, so it looks like it may have been a prospecting mine. You there, Mike? All right. I gotta catch my breath. I'll be up in a second. You can see it's a tight opening, so I'm going to get up part ways, hand the camera to Mike, and then I'll return to you when I get out. Alright guys, I made it out. I'm filthy, but I gave you guys an inside look at that mine. I gotta say, I'm so glad we found that, because I was beginning to think there wasn't anything left here except for those building structures and foundations. But again, we were just kind of descending down the mountain. We saw this natural ravine, and there was the mine. As you saw, it went in, well, it went down pretty steep, then went in maybe about 50 feet, and we hit that pool of water. I couldn't tell if it dead ended there or if it continued down and it's just backfilled with water. I was unable to tell. And then it went to the right with a much lower ceiling. It was about three feet high, and it dead ended back there. But then we saw that stoped out area going up, and there's no way I could fit crawling through that. at least not without dislodging some rocks. But it definitely went farther upwards, and we're in a mountainside, so there's a lot of overhead space. But my guess on this is this was a prospect mine. Based on its location, there's no hoist around, there's no hoist house around, no ore cart tracks, no signs of ore carts, just a lot of veins of coal in there, and from what I saw, it just doesn't go very far. So I think this was a prospect mine, or is also known as a bootlegger's mine. So that's what my guess this was, but again, it's right off the Mocanaqua Trail. I don't know if anyone's ever documented this before, but you literally had to crawl on your hands and knees, as you saw from the footage. I'm a mess now, but it was worth getting inside to check it out. I didn't have my O2 meter, but I didn't go that far in. If I went farther, if it was more extensive, I would have came back with it, but I did feel fresh airflow. It's probably 10 to 15 degrees cooler in there. But overall, I'm glad we found it and checked it out. So we're gonna head back down the mountain now, and we're gonna wrap up the video. Okay, just to give you a little orientation, down there is the trail. You can't really see it, but the building foundations are down there, kind of straight ahead. And this is what we found, this little ravine, and the mine's right there. Alright, that's going to wrap up today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this adventure. We weren't sure what we were going to find today, just based on Google Maps. We found the building foundations overhead, and a lot of these rocky outcrops look like they may have been buildings. Most of it is just rock formations, but they're still cool to see. A lot of those cavities are really cool, and that mine was really awesome. That made it worth this trip out here. And if you guys ever decide to come out, use extreme caution. There's a lot of tricky walking areas, some cliffs, and the mine, I wouldn't recommend going in unless you have experience or coming with someone knowledgeable and with safety equipment, just because it's unknown if there's any dangers in there with air quality and such. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell. That way you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.